All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Lauren. I'm the health coach at Total Life Concept, and I'm here to do an amazing interview with two serious power couples around health. We have Dr. Haley and Dr. Garett from Pathfinder Chiropractic, and then we also have my teammates, Chris Grotefend, our fitness professional, and Dr. Soma Grotefend, our wellness physician at Total Life Concept, to talk a bit about what do we have control over and how can we maintain health during this time when we can't go to our favorite practitioners. And so there's no secret here with COVID, a lot of our offices, such as Pathfinder Chiropractic, that many of us love to go to, ourselves included, have been forced to shut down. And these are places that are very important to us. They help us heal, they help us recreate optimum health, and it's an important part to many of our routines. And so when this is taken away, it's a little bit scary and maybe a little bit like we don't know what to do. So we're hoping to give you some tools and give you a little bit of empowerment today to help you navigate this time. So first question we have is, how does your body respond to a virus if it's healthy versus if it's not healthy? So I'll pass it on to you, Dr. Soma, to start off.
All right. Thank you, Lauren. And I'm so pleased to get to share some time with my co-conspirators in the world, Dr. Haley and Dr. Garett. Thank you so much for doing this and sharing your time. We share a passion, Pathfinder Chiropractic and Total Life Concept, in helping people achieve health and then stay healthy. How our bodies respond when they have been maintained and kept up is very different from how it responds when it hasn't been maintained. So there's no time like the present to start maintaining our bodies and to keep them in the best possible place of fitness or resilience. I had a young patient of mine many years ago who, out of the mouths of babes come great wisdom. And basically what he told me is, I had been explaining to him that him drinking his soda pop, his refined sugar soda pop, was causing amazing fires to show up in his body. So every time he took a glug of his soda pop, which he loved dearly, it was causing fire in his body. And then the body, instead of building new bones and doing all these wonderful things, was having to run and put out these fires. And he sat back for a little bit and looked very thoughtful as an 8-year-old can look, which is pretty thoughtful, and said, "Oh, I get it. So when I swallow my soda pop or I eat my candy, I have fires, so all the doctors in my body get recruited as firefighters. And they can't be doctors anymore. They all have to go put out this fire. And so then they can't make me well and they can't heal me because they're being firefighters, because they can do that." And I don't know how else to simply put this other than that was beautiful and a wonderful analogy for basically our body's immune system doesn't necessarily need boosting. It just needs to be not fighting 700 wars on 300 different fronts. It needs to be supported. It needs to be not harmed. So teaching this can be delightfully fun. And I also want to say, because I'm very interested in what Dr. Haley and Dr. Garett have to share as well, one of my concerns that will need to come back is touch is extraordinarily important in a body's healing ability. And we've all become acutely aware of the downside of touch. We doctors have known for a long time that you need to wash your hands. You need to do things in order to protect ourselves from the downside of touch. But the upside of touch is there. I can't say how important that is. And that's where my wonderful peers in the world of chiropractic and that sort of thing excel, and touch is extraordinarily important. So I'm hoping we get to talk a little bit about that as well, because touch is part of being healthy and resilient. And that will come back. I don't think we're all going to be frightened, but it's going to take some talking about why that's important as well.
Do you have anything to add, Dr. Haley or Dr. Garett, to that?
Yeah, so I think first I just want to start off with a quote, and it's from BJ Palmer. If you know me, I love quotes. And so, and what he talks about here is while other professions are concerned with changing the environment to suit the weakened body, chiropractic is concerned with strengthening the body to suit the environment. And I think that's what I love about being on this call with other practitioners that are in the same boat. You know, we want to improve overall health to be able to sustain these things that are thrown at us and challenge certain systems in our bodies. And so some of these systems, we deal with the nervous system, but of course, if the nervous system is down, that makes it much harder for the lymphatic system to really support the body and the immune response. Um, and, you know, sometimes, unfortunately, some people are born with these circumstances that might be um, not healthy. But then there's also lifestyle choices that create unhealthy individuals too. And so that's one thing that we want to talk about is finding ways to not only now to make improvements with lifestyle to help support those systems, but also for the future too.
And, you know, we talk a lot in our office about the 3 T's, so thoughts, traumas, and toxins, and those are things that we can control to an extent. You know, thoughts, what are you thinking about? Are you watching the news? Are you living in fear? Or are you actually educating yourself and feeding your mind very, very healthy things? Are you meditating? Are you doing yoga? Are you exercising? What are some things that you can control right now with your thoughts? And then traumas, you know, sometimes we can't control those if you're in a car accident, but some traumas you can control for sure. And then toxins, what are you putting in your body? And that's why we love collaborating with you guys, because you teach all this stuff to individuals so they understand it, where it's very simple. And then a fourth one I like to throw in is threshold. And so everyone's got their own threshold. Once that threshold's breached, that's when things go south. And so we need to make sure that our thoughts, that our traumas, and our toxins are very minimized. And we want to make sure we have the highest threshold as possible so that we can be the healthiest and survive things like this. So
I really like that. I really like what you just said. I totally agree, and that high threshold is really, I think, critical to maintain as well. And when it comes to how we spend our time, it's like if we can put things into nice little packages or nice little containers. I like to call these wholesome disciplines, and the two words are wholesome. The first, and wholesome means never lets you down, always predictable results. Wholesome is the guaranteed part. Then comes the discipline part, which is the Nike symbol. Just do it, you know. So wholesome disciplines, that's the practice that's required. What we're really hoping is that with regular and consistent, not necessarily intense, it's more about consistency than intensity. With consistent practice, that wholesome discipline becomes a healthy practice. And when that healthy practice is just happening, without even you having to think about it, that's the ultimate goal. Because when your life daily habits have become normal, natural parts of your life, you don't need us. You've got this game figured out for yourself. And so all that we really feel is important for us is to share these wholesome disciplines and the tactics to create these successful outcome in the simplest way possible, and then kind of push you for a little while until it becomes a habit, you know.
Awesome. I love everything that everyone just said. It was beautiful, especially in terms of what can we control during this time, because we can't go to our favorite practitioners like Pathfinder Chiropractic, and it's hard when you're on your own and maybe you don't have some of these disciplines built in. And so I want everyone here, because we're all in this together, we're all going through this crazy time together. I want us all to share one thing that you're doing to take care of yourself during this time. That can be something that maybe you did before, or maybe something new that you've added since this has all happened. I'll start off. It's something simple, but it has to do with my mind. The first week of learning about this time and having so many transitions in my life and in work, it was like I was all over the news and just confused about what's going on. And it was so insidious. You know, it was just like really unhealthy place to be. And I would be checking my news first thing in the morning. And so I've strangely started adding Sudoku into my morning routine, because to me, this is a meditation in itself, but it also is a time for me to just like focus in on something, figure out a puzzle. It also gives me a sense of finishing something. And to me, that is a health practice during this time. That's something I'm doing under the focus or mindset piece of what am I bringing into my body. So that's one thing I personally am doing. What are you doing, Haley? Dr. Haley, excuse me.
Well, anybody who's ever been to Pathfinder knows we have this little dog called Estes, and she brings lots of joy. And so I've been having a blast taking her down to our local pond and just watching her swim and getting outside, you know, seeing the birds fly. I just love being in nature. So anything outside really clears my mind for sure. So.
I think for myself, I always find it a challenge to kind of exercise during the work week. We work really long hours during that work week. And so I've been able to really be consistent with my exercise. But also just some of that positive thought has also, I think, become more real lately, just with everything kind of going on. Is you know, there's certain things that are thrown at us that can be upsetting, but to kind of remind yourself and ground yourself has been a huge part for my mental state lately.
Chris, Selma, anything you want to add?
This is funny because I hadn't thoroughly thought about it, but Chris has been doing his fitness classes from home, so I get to participate. And my favorite class of all time has become his senior fitness class. I absolutely adore it. I had totally forgotten what it was like to just dance and to just move my body, that it could actually be fun and joyful, and I didn't have to get all the moves right, and I laugh and I giggle, and I'm in such awe of him because I'm you know, all the changes and things you're supposed to do. And oh my God, I want every single member of his senior fitness class on my team because wow, that's impressive. So I've gotten to partake a lot in my husband's world and just some lightness and fun into my fitness routine, which I didn't realize had become not light and fun. So that's been fun.
I've, when it comes to the drinking, I've been noticing I've been spending a lot of time drinking water. When it comes to tequila,
I've been with him, it's water. Huh?
It's water. I've been noticing I've been spending more time idle. And I'm not used to that. My body's not used, my physicality is not used to that. And it's been kind of wild because I've been getting up just off the couch, you know, and getting up and running to the fridge. It's kind of like a new habit, you know, couch fridge. No, but and I've been getting these pretty crazy head rushes. And I've kind of figured out that it's kind of because of water. My habits around drinking water have always been slam and go, just slam and go. I've always been the guy that just puts his hand underneath the sink. First I wash, you know, and I wash my non-dominant thumb, and then I drink and cup it. I've had this habit since I was a kid to just drink warm water out of the sink, glug, 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 glug. And I don't do it very many times throughout the day, but when I do it, I go big, you know. And it's been kind of like a waterfall and then nothing, and then a waterfall. And these new habits have made me realize that hasn't been holding up well. So I've been dragging this thing around, and I've never really been that guy. I've never been that guy that's got this with him all the time. It's got hot water in it, and it's also got a little bit of apple cider vinegar in it. So I actually kind of enjoy it. And what I've recognized is I really like having it hot. So that's the biggest change for me.
Well, thanks for sharing everything. The overarching theme I'm hearing from everyone is a playfulness going on, just trying new things or getting to do more of something that you would like to be doing in everyday life, and trying senior fitness or just being with your dog and being in nature. And I think that's a really beautiful thing that we each got to share a little bit of, like, how has our life changed, and then what have we done to take care of ourselves during that time. And so to kind of finish off this thing, I really want, if anyone has any specific tools to share with our audience of what could they start doing, something simple. Maybe we can do that same idea of kind of going around the circle. What's one easy thing to start implementing in any way, shape, or form to take care of yourself, to help strengthen your body, improve the healing process, and support your overall health. So actually, I wanted to bounce back to Chris real fast to maybe talk a little bit about apple cider vinegar, because tell us a little bit about why apple cider vinegar, if there's any benefits to that, and why would that be an easy thing to start doing in your daily life?
Yeah, well, that's cool, because apple cider vinegar is a living food. It's kind of like the probiotic things that we have access to. That's an easy one, because the cool thing about it is it's basically just a capful or a quick splash in my water bottle has been what it has been sufficient for me. For one thing, it makes drinking the water a little bit more palatable, but at the same time, it's kind of adding probiotics, which are very important to my gut biome, and that's increasing my body's resilience or access to, basically keeping the gut biome carrying its end of the deal, through that support,
And I would definitely recommend it with room temperature or slightly warm water. If you put it in really hot boiling water, you're going to kill it. But room temperature water, we tend to be able to drink more of. People don't often think about it, but cold water can do other things as well. That if you love cold water, please drink cold water. That's not what I'm saying, but warm or room temperature water is also an option that I think a lot of people don't think about.
Yeah, I'm the wimpiest guy on the planet when it comes to hot drinks. So tepid water is pretty close to hot for me.
Yeah. So I guess I can start by providing a tool. I would love a simple mindfulness tool to share with everybody. It's very simple. It's based on a thing called heart math, not hard meth, heart math. What you do is you put your awareness on the area around your heart. So you just become aware of that area. When you breathe in, breathe a deep breath in through that area and a deep breath out of that area, and keep doing that. So area around your heart, become aware of that. Breathe in through your heart, breathe out through your heart. Do it 2 or 3 times, and then re-engage in whatever you're doing. You can practice this on a regular basis, but it's a pretty remarkable thing. And if it has an impact on you, you can delve further into that. We explore that in all kinds of things, but I would recommend when you don't know what to do, put your awareness on the area around your heart, breathe in through your heart and breathe out through your heart, and see what happens next.
Thank you, too. How about you two?
Yeah, so thanks for, those tools are great, Chris and Dr. Selma. Since we deal with the body a lot, one of us will talk about posture, and so that's a big thing. We're finding ourselves probably in the chairs or in the couches a lot more often, and so just making sure that we get up every once in a while, maybe set an alarm on your phone, get up, stretch. Good hip flexor stretch, piriformis stretches are always really important with a lot of sitting. And then also just making sure that the computer monitor is the middle of it's at eye level. Make sure shoulders are back, keyboard's in nice and close. So when we are in those work positions, that we are able to maintain a better posture.
My tool is get outside. I think getting outside is the best thing, especially right now. Everyone's cooped up in their houses. Parents are having to teach their children, which is probably very stressful. So take the kids for a walk around the neighborhood. I think that's a great tool for people to do. People are sitting way too much right now, especially being forced to work at home. So get up, move, play, dance, whatever you enjoy doing, just do more of it. I think that's very important. So this has been awesome. This has been a blast to be on with you guys.
I love it. I feel the same way. And I wanted to throw in a couple things too, of since tech is such a force of nature in our lives right now, it's how we're connecting with one another. It's how we're working from home. It's everything right now. How can we use tech to support us? And to go off what Dr. Garett was saying, I have actually uploaded it's like an app on my computer that tells me every hour to get up and take a 5-minute break. And you can postpone it for 3 minutes so you can finish that task, but respect it. And it really does help to go stand outside and just walk away, and I end up being so much more productive, and I feel so much better at the end of the day. And then there's a million exercise apps right now that are offering their apps for free. Things like Down Dog Yoga app, ToneItUp.com has one, Nike Training Pro offers a lot, and they're things like 20-minute workout classes. And so, you know, between Netflix episodes or whatever you're doing, if you can just throw in one of those classes, I think, you know, 9 minutes, 12 minutes, 20 minutes feels manageable. And so that's something I would recommend, is exploring how you can use some of these, like this opportunity where our community is coming together and offering our services for free or low cost to help each other get through this time. So I thank you all so much. Is there anything else? Yeah, go ahead.
Just one little quick one, just because you stirred up a thing that I like to keep with regards to Netflix and watching, and getting back to that playful thing, that playful part. Everybody's got one of those, hopefully one of those big balls that they have in their house, Swiss ball or an exercise ball. And while during Netflix, it's a really fun thing to do, to just practice balancing on that thing while you're watching. I tell people to practice balancing on their butt, and practice balancing on your knees, and practice balancing on your stomach. It's kind of hard to watch sometimes when you're balancing on your stomach, but balancing is a really good thing to practice, and that's kind of keeping a little bit of the fitness. You can do it for longer periods of time. It's more the neurological component, so it's keeping your neural connections working fast. You know, we get a little sluggish when we just sit and do nothing, but so that kind of keeps you really on point for that. So get your ball out, and whenever you're watching TV, balance on it.
Any last words from our Pathfinder team?
Actually, I just heard a stat. You guys might have heard this already too, but that I heard that after World War II, locally grown food was at 40%. Today, it's under 1%. And so get out and garden, enjoy the sun. This is a perfect time to do it. And so I would strongly support that.
Thank you so much for mentioning that, because I am beyond passionate about that. And we live in an area in Durango that has a bunch of CSAs, community supported agriculture. And now is the time to sign up for those. Basically, you pay a big chunk of money up front, and then you get a box of fresh, local, organic, sustainably made produce delivered to your door, or maybe you pick it up. But there's a bunch of farms in our area that do this. And this is a great time to do it. And you could even reach out and see if they need help on their farms. I mean, it's a little bit of a weird time of needing to stay out, stay away from one another. But if you're far away on the farm, I don't know. You can kind of be the judge of that for yourself, and maybe the farmers will too. But choosing good food and supporting our local environment, I think is a huge piece of this. So thanks for bringing that up too. I love that. Okay. Well, thank you all so much for doing this interview, and thank you to anyone who's watching this. I hope you found some value in it in one way or another, and maybe you take one of those tools and you start implementing it. And please let us know also in any of the comment boxes what you're doing to take care of yourself. Let's share more ideas, and who knows, your idea might really hit home with someone who's watching or reading through the comment thread. So thank you so much, and be healthy out there.
Thank you.
Thank you.